What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to The Biz with D right here, right now on My Fair Swings Radio with your rock on the Mike Davidson. We have Somi on the line. What's going on, beautiful?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm great, thank you.
Not a problem. Well, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Like, your music is so phenomenal. Thank you. I mean, it's honest. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. So, I mean, you've got this incredible album that's about to come out, but you've got this great single, too, that I love. It's called Ginger Me Slowly. Tell me about the approach for that record, because, I mean, it is everything. And I feel like a lot of people can, relate to that in life. Tell me how you came up with the approach for that.
The approach for it, it was really a very organic process. I just wanted to spend some time away from New York, went to Lagos, Nigeria, and just sort of wrote about seeing all around me and the experiences I was having, and just sort of let the music kind of evolve organically, right? So the record, the Lagos Music Salon, it's very much about creating this room of travel. I hope people feel a sense of travel. I hope they feel a sense of place. And I hope they hear all of the influences, whether you're talking about jazz or soul or hip-hop or classical or, African, all these different influences that sort of show up in this salon, in this room of conversations that I was having with myself and with the people and other artists and the city. So hopefully people feel like they're taking some sort of magic trip to West Africa.
Absolutely. And in your, I know that you did, in your search for 18 months like that, you were finding this new sound and you went there. How was, like, your trip like? What all did you, experience, sound-wise?
Sound-wise, what did I experience? Lagos is it feels very much like an African version of New York City. So I felt very at home anyway. I live here in New York in Harlem, and so it has that sort of push and pull. It's actually larger than New York, 20 million people. They've got every industry there. It's the largest economy on the African continent. There's a thriving music, film, fashion, any kind of creative industry is just booming over there. I mean, they have the third largest film industry in the world there, too. So there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I was really excited to be there and see that in an African context. I'm originally from Uganda and Rwanda. This is actually my fourth album. It's my first album on a major label, but it's, the first time that I really had a chance to be on the continent and really exciting new energy. And in my past work, I've always gone and just sort of visited and always sort of referenced home. But it was just really exciting for me to go there and see, that kind of the energy of the city. If there's some hard things about living in any kind of developing world context in Africa, but there are also a lot of really wonderful, inspiring things too. So I wanted to bring light to both of those things and just kind of be honest about what that is. So what was I hearing? I was hearing the same things you might hear in New York, but with a Nigerian accent.
I love it. And that's really incredible that you got a chance to go over to Nigeria and just really hear for music and get a different, get a sound approach, because a lot of people, not Marsha Ambrose, well, Marsha does it too, but even, goodness gracious, her name, why won't it come to me? Chrisette Michelle, she did the same thing with her Audrey Hepburn mixtape. She did the exact same thing. She went over to London and she listened to the sounds of what their music sounded like, and she really got inspired.
Right. I mean, there's a whole scene over there. Like I said, there's a huge music scene, and Nigeria is really dominating the pop music space in Africa. So there's this music that's called Afrobeats. There's Afrobeat, which is the singular word, which Fela Kuti, started back in the day, and that's inspired by a lot of Nigerian traditional music and jazz and funk. He was really inspired by James Brown. So that was that first sort of fusion you were seeing between black music in the West and traditional African music, but really with a modern edge. So really hearing a lot of that, and then also hearing this new popular music, the new pop music called Afro beats, which is just like infectious. It's like, you know, it feels great to dance to. It's really like, I mean, cheap beats. I always talk about it as cheap beats because it's like, you know, people are making stuff in the quickest, dirtiest kind of way, but it's also really amazing, right? It's like people are fighting for this beauty and this energy. So it's fantastic to listen to that and to always feel inspired to groove. And in the meantime, you're like surrounded by all this traffic and the colors and the sun and the, you know, it's just like that in itself sounds and feels and inspires so much, right?
I love it. And with this this album, because you mentioned the fact of this being your first album on a major label, congratulations, because I mean that is huge right there for your fourth album. No doubt. How would you say, you know, the process with this album versus the other 3 albums have been for you?
Well, it's different in the sense that this is the first time that I really just decided to be completely still. I mean, I left New York, moved to Lagos, Nigeria for 1.5 years, you know, and it was the first time that I was really like, you know what, I'm not going to be on a deadline. I'm not going to be worrying about what it is I'm trying to say in a specific way. I'm just going to, again, let it be this organic process and let the music kind of speak to me, let the city speak to me, and then just write. A lot of these songs are born out of my journal entries that I was writing. Sometimes they were songs that were written right away, but a lot of times they're like the reflections of like my travel journal that I was keeping there, and that then I would then go and revisit and put melody and chords to, and then, you know, ultimately kind of created this record. And the difference, you know, obviously I'm so thrilled to be a part of the Sony Music family and to have that sort of global team support, you know, around the record. That's probably the other really market difference, right? So, but really I recorded this record independently first, and then we ended up in a conversation. So in a lot of ways, the creative process was different, not because of my new deal, but because of the time that I decided to take and personal choice to sort of step away. And I'm just fortunate that that this team of wonderful people have decided to champion that effort and help me put it out. So I'm excited.
That's incredible. And tell me about the single and the music video for Last Song, because that right there, when I first, because I'm now getting up on your music, so I did a lot of research. But when I listened to the song and then I saw the video, I was like, wow. I
thank you.
feel this. Like I felt like every emotion that, like you sang that one. Tell me about the concept behind, you know, the song and the video.
I really wanted to. I mean, that's. Hello?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had cut off. Say that again.
I said that song is really very much about. You know, being present, the last song. It's really about being present, you know, because we never know whether it's going to be our first or last encounter with another person, you know, another human being, that we should be present in each other's lives, that we should be, you know, still take in the beauty of that person, take in the lesson that person has brought, you know, crossed our paths to give to us. And so it's really sort of a love letter to Lagos for the inspiration that it gave me, and that moment that I was able to be present in the lives of the people around me and them vice versa in my own life, right? And that sort of witnessing it. So the video concept was really about, you know, if you have the chance to kind of do it over, like I saw there's a lot of walking backwards, like to make sure that you know, because we don't always have that chance, right? We never have that chance to kind of go back in time. We started having this conversation 5 minutes ago, but we don't have that 5 minutes again, right? You can never kind of get it back. So it's really about that. Like if we did have that chance, if we did know that this was that last time that I might be walking that street or seeing that person on the road, how would I therefore engage with that person? How would I interact, and how would I be more open? Would I tell them so much more? You know, would I be more loving? So it's really about that. And I wanted to talk about, you know, I just used the city of Lagos, really wanted to celebrate it and the people and the places that I experienced and had the chance to meet. And really kind of just give thanks for it. And again, remind myself and anybody who cares to listen just to try to be present.
Exactly. And that really is a great message, like I was saying, because a lot of people, even with life, and this is like my whole thing, I tell people, you have to find positive in every ugly, and you have to be grateful for every moment because you never know, that last encounter that you had, if that's going to be like the last. Like, I totally am. I say that to people all the time. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, why are you so angry? Like, liven up. Like, you have no idea if I might fall down the stairs tomorrow and that might be it. You know what I'm saying? God forbid something happen like that. But it's like you got to be positive in the moment, I feel.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's all about that, being positive in the moment. Even when things get difficult, it's about being positive and present and keeping perspective, right?
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now with this album, are you planning to go on tour soon with it?
With this album, I will be going on tour. I have some tour dates I'm really excited to announce. It'll be happening in September and early October in different major cities in the U.S. So I'm super excited about that. The record already came out in Europe, so I've just come back from a wonderful trip to Europe, a tour and promotional trip of the record over there, and that was wonderful. So I'm just really excited to do it here, and in the States, in home ground and home territory. So I'm excited.
Nice.
People can check out those dates online or on my website or social media in the meantime.
That's incredible. And how would you? Because you said the record's out in Europe, correct?
Yes.
How's the response so far to the project?
The response has been really great. It's been really, really great. The press has been really great. The shows were wonderful and sold out, and I just had such a great time, and I'm feeling so thankful. So I'm looking forward to sharing it here, and we'll see what happens.
I know that's right, and I can't wait. Like, literally, my finger has hit the pre-order button when I first heard your music up, then I was like, I can't wait. Like, can iTunes just say it's available now somehow?
Well, people can pre-order it now, which is great. So if people want to pre-order it, they can get Last Song and they can get Ginger Me Slowly today. Like, when they pre-order the album, they get those 2 downloads right away. And then it'll be available August 5th.
Absolutely. Well, Somi, thanks so much for this interview. I definitely appreciate it. And keep doing the damn thing because, your music is incredible and it speaks, I'm trying to find the right words to say. It speaks worldly to how people feel.
Thank you.
So positive. So definitely keep in touch, and whenever you want to come back and chats like that, we can definitely do that because I like our conversation, find out more about you and its music because it's incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate the support.
Anytime. So tell everybody before we have you do a drop, tell everybody where they can catch up with you as far as your social media and all that stuff.
Sure. Well, I have a new website. It's just somimusic.com, S as in Sarah, O, M as in Mary, I, music.com. And you can find all my links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but they're all the same. It's all Somi Music. So hopefully people will stop by, say hello, leave a note, and help spread the word if they feel so inspired to. Hi, this is Somi. You're listening to Big with B.